Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today we have our guests, Reich, Murtalon, and Stalwar Greyside. So, Reich and Stalwar, how are you doing?
I just aged 10 years in a second. So, not real good.
No, it probably was absolutely terrible, actually. So you you just banished this ghost, and it's completely gone. You had those words, and Reich's like, that's not very, from here, where do you choose to go?
Well, only way to go from here is forward. So,
okay. So behind this desk, there is a doorway, much like where the spot would have been downstairs that led out. When you go behind this desk and the doorway that's there, Reich, you're actually able to see. Sorry, investigation check, please, Ollie.
Oh!
You don't have to talk to investigate.
Yeah, I do.
Press buttons.
Have you met Stalbo?
I meant you, Ollie. Ooh.
I
think you rolled a 24,
noticed
a
we have some
25,
things in common.
a 26, and a 27. I think you've just literally increased your investigation every time.
I have a +8, Scott. Just wait until I level up.
Yay. You guys are never going to level because all your stats are going to go up. So,
I have a 22 intelligence when I level up.
So it does increase the max by 2. I thought so. Eric and I
Yeah,
were talking
it's
about
explicitly said in the 5e DMG.
I thought that's what it said. Because Eric and I were talking about that in a car ride earlier. So anyways, moving on. You look at the door and you're actually able to see that there's 2 of those alarms coming off of it. One of them clearly is going over here. You know, you can actually take, ding, ding, and the bell jingles over here. But then there's another one.
So it seems that this is not the only bell room.
I would imagine they have similar ones throughout the prison. Probably each of them watching over that cell block.
Do you think you can take care of it even if you're with your current condition?
I don't feel any different. Just feel like I'm, more into wine now than beer. I'm sure
I'm gonna be right back real fast. I might have a mouse to deal with because my cat loves me so much.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to deal with this.
Yep, go ahead. I was just saying, on the bright side, you're gonna be the only 28-year-old that when he brags about the glory days of when he was 17 or 18, it's okay.
Back when I was 17 a week and a half ago.
Okay. So trying to disable the first one, you can actually see, once again, same as before, you can in fact break it and rip it open. But this bell that is right next to you, now that you actually can see it, is like dancing around and jangling. Ding, 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 ding. It is very, very obvious that you guys have would have been coming through this doorway. You have to make a separate check for the second one, the one that goes to the other area.
All right, so just a second sleight of hand.
Well, the heavy implication on it. Unfortunately, you rolled even worse.
Yeah.
So now that you're aware of how loud it can be, and you know it went to a different guard tower that's not the one that you're at, that's leads to a little concern. You can open the door, though.
All right, so I am going to mention the fact that that definitely went off. So we should keep an ear out and maybe expect company. And then I'm going to just open the door and see what's beyond the door.
Coolio.
Okay. So you stop and talk about it for a couple of seconds, and then you open the door. Roll me a perception check when you open the door.
Perception.
You gotta have to stop rolling like this, or this is gonna be you're gonna die here. If you cannot break double digits, your character is going to die here.
You're my fucking grave.
Don't worry. Death is not a binary state, right?
I would prefer that it is. All right, that's my preference. I don't want the middle ground shit.
You're the only original character that hasn't kicked it yet. So
if I die from like aging to death in this prison, I swear to God, Scott.
Well, to be fair though, you have broken many laws because of Kyrann. So you You make your way. So you open the door, and the lights are starting to light up in front of you, same as they always have beforehand. And there's another stairwell that's in front of you. This stairwell is a bit different than the one before. Before, the stairwell was, as I described before, like most schools or prisons, and it had 4 of those sections of stairs going up. So half flights that go up. This one actually has it's a similar design, but it actually has the stairs are much wider, and it's an actual open tunnel that goes straight up with the stairs running along the walls, allowing you to see up when you actually walk in, and those inside to see down. This one actually goes up a solid 4 flights of stairs. So somebody that's inside, so my apologies, 4 flights of stairs, so 8 of those little half things. So somebody that's inside could easily see people coming up the stairs, much more easily even than you'd be able to see somebody coming down them, right?
Okay.
So as you walk in, this is what you see, and all the lights are starting to light up. When you walk in and you do look up, you can see exactly as I described it. Do you start immediately walking up the stairs?
Yeah, I point that out to Stalbor. I say they're gonna have an easier time seeing us coming up the stairs than us be able to see them coming down the stairs.
And Stalbor looks up, and obviously that makes sense.
And then from there, I just I'm gonna proceed cautiously.
Are we doing stealthies?
Yeah, give me the old stealth-a-roni.
I will actually stealth with you this time.
Hey, I did it.
It's not going to be that good. You know what? I'm happy with that.
Do me a favor as you're running, as you're quietly making your way up the stairs. Roll me perception checks, boys.
You need to start rolling better.
I mean, he got 1. So Stalbor, you're the one that notices as you start sneaking your way up the stairs that the last light to light up, like the last of light to actually appear in the otherwise would have been darkened room, was actually in the middle of the room, not the top, and not the bottom, and they always light up in one direction that you've seen before. But as you kind of like look up and you see that curiosity, it catches your interest. So like stop walking for like a step or two as Wright continues going ahead, because he's usually in the lead, and you kind of like turn your head slightly to like focus your attention up there listening, and you hear steps making their way down the stairs. Though clearly those steps are trying to be muffled, they're trying to quiet themselves, you can still hear them making their way down.
It is the long fabled return of Stalbor making silent hand gestures to someone and hoping that they understand the elven military meanings.
You know what? He's seen you do it beforehand, and he's a military man himself. I will allow him to roll an intelligence check with disadvantage to get it, but it's going to be a DC 10. He rolled a natty 20, and I just had to crush it for him. But
it's also, he will also, if you keep going after not noticing what I'm doing, because I might just be casting a spell. Now that I think about it.
Well, I would still pay attention. I'm obviously on alert. It would make
I
sense
grab
to me
you
to
and stop you.
look at him when he's doing this. I may not understand. I'm like, and then he like grabs me and like pulls on me. So I can't. Yeah, that's probably more simple. I
Stalbor has to dumb himself down so much for these people.
I'm gonna draw my sword. I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna try to listen, like put my ear against the steps to see if I can actually hear how many footsteps are coming downstairs.
Roll me perception again, please, sir.
Oh my god, suck less.
Sometimes sucking more is a good thing.
Not bad.
So you are also able to hear that there's movement coming, not with the same volume that Stalbor was before, but only because it's closer, right? Okay. Stalbor, you can hear it a bit more keenly. You can't make out how many steps there are. However, Stalbor kind of like looking up while he's pressing his ear to the step. You can see somebody just poke their head over the railing and look down to see if they can see who's down there or what happens, and then their head pop back down, and you can hear the footsteps continuing on.
Dwarf?
You couldn't tell; it was too quick. But there was a helm.
I suppose if we're on the stairwell, I'll get to like the opposite side of Reich and prepare to just bash a man.
So
I actually will prepare an action to bash the first one I see.
the first one that you see. So just as a reminder, because you did step away to handle the mouse situation, the way the stairs are designed is the actual room is pretty wide, and it's a straight up and down square room, so rectangular, right, room, straight up and down. And so the stairs run along the walls, so higher up can definitely look down to see.
Yeah. And there's no railing?
There's no railing.
Okay, then I guess I just go up
Dwarves don't
against
have railings.
Some dwarves have railings.
Come
It's
on,
another thing.
the
It's
Death
another
Star
thing
was
to
built by the
engrave.
dwarves, you know?
It's another thing to engrave, so the dwarves have it. That's the way I think about it. Cool. Yeah, I will just sort of be up against a wall with Reich then.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So you kind of press up against the wall, more or less, wait until they get as close as possible before they see you. But no matter what, they're definitely going to be able to see you before they're within melee range. So you guys press up against the wall and allow them to keep making their way down. I'm fine with your stealth checks from before, so because you really haven't moved. So you stay there, and then the steps get closer and closer and closer. You guys are able to hear there's several feet. You can't make out how many it is. And so finally, the first one appears. So again, because of the way that the steps work, it runs up a wall. So it's 1, 2. So it'd be like 2 flights above you is where they'd be able to see you. It's actually going to be a little bit higher than that is the first spot where they can see you. So instead of 2 flights above, it's actually going to be 7 flights above. So it's going to be from an angle. One of them kind of like looks down and sees you. Like you hear call out in Dwarven like, "Hey!" And I'm saying the words because again, Stalbar understands Dwarven. Hey, I see him. And he kind of like stops and kind of like whips. So he stops, whips out a crossbow, drops down to a knee, and tries to.
Right, they see us.
As soon as I see that they're like yelling, I'm gonna charge at them.
Yeah, of course you do.
So you start like going and running up the stairs. Some of the ones that were jogging down the stairs also start moving quicker, making their way down the stairs. Right, to run up them, do me a favor. Roll me an athletics check.
Pretty sure not acrobatics.
I'm sure.
My favorite thing in the world of gaming is the animation that games have to give for someone running upstairs, because there's no way to make it look cool. Because you gotta like sort of like make really tiny motions. It's so good.
No, you can loop up the stairs, right?
Yeah, but they never do that.
No.
You can. That's the way to do it, but they don't.
He's like, because that
would be dangerous.
You probably could guess this about me, Ollie. I don't walk upstairs. Unless I have my daughter with me, that I move obnoxiously slow. It kills me. I often just pick her up and go, "Let's go." I loop upstairs. So
that's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So anyways, you hear these steps shuffling their way down as you're shuffling your way up, sir. And really quickly making their rolls. So as they're making their way down, kind of like running to meet up with you, right, you're actually rushing to meet up with 4 dwarves that are making their way down. One of them, however, trips up because running downstairs is super dangerous. Don't do it, kids.
And I have tiny legs.
Is actually ends up tripping up and kind of tumbles down the rest of that flight of stairs. So he's going to be out of combat for a round. The other 3 are running down to meet up with you. Stalboard, that one, because you didn't move, is going to take a shot against you. So we're going to roll for initiative to see how this all plays out. But more or less, I'm going to allow him to shoot at you, you to respond, and them to travel as like the narrated round before initiative really kicks in.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Now, I do still have Mage Armor active from a while ago. Luckily.
So I'm just going to use these.
And I realized today, ever since buying that ring of protection, I hadn't been applying it to my AC because I was so set in my mind that what my AC numbers were. So I'm mildly more defended.
Okay. So let's set this up. So I'm attacking you first, Stalbor, with my crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, Stolly? There you are.
How far away is this man?
7 flights. So vertically, a good distance. Like a solid
flight of stairs, and you said they're half flights, and a story is usually 7 feet. So
wow, stories are small in the UK.
Yes. We don't build our buildings obnoxiously large for some reason. We don't have as much space to build our buildings obnoxiously large. A standard story is 7 feet. Have you noticed that ever since when I've been DMing, I describe a lot of things as 7 feet ever since I discovered that?
Yeah.
So 7 flights of stairs.
Here it's 10 feet, or just shy of. Maybe it's like 9.5 feet or something like that.
Yeah, because we have people who are
Average.
a little bit over the average.
That's funny.
That need to be accommodated for.
So the average
Eric, stop complaining.
Divided by 2 times by 7. It's 25 feet, not including the length.
I will allow 7 feet to work for this mathematics because of these are dwarves.
These are dwarves.
Just like British people, they're a little shorter. So
I wonder if that's true.
I don't know, honestly. So you how many feet did you say?
25 feet up.
Yep. And then
I don't know how long the room is
probably
across.
another 5-ish or so, 35 feet or so. So he takes a shot, rolled a natty 1. So he takes a shot, and actually what happened was he had jumped down and dropped to his knees so quickly that when he takes a shot, it actually the bolt unset where it was sitting. So when it fires, the bolt kind of just like spins around in the air. It actually goes up a bit before it just flops down to the ground below. This actually is really embarrassing for Dreadhold guards. The first 5 you encounter, 1 falls down and 1 can't function a crossbow. This is like really bad picture painting, but unfortunately that's the dice. So after that, Stalbor, what did you do to retaliate against this flopping?
I'm not interested in retaliating. First of all, I'm interested in giving you a fact of knowledge. According to the first result on Google,
Oh, Jesus.
a average British man is an inch taller than his French counterpart, which as a British man, that makes me very happy that we're winning over the French. Whereas we are, it's in millimeters. So you are around about US men are around about 5 millimeters taller on average. So you are taller, which is kind of what I assumed, just because you got all those brutish genes.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately my family is huge.
Yeah,
And
you're
we're
the
not
ones
even the
bumping the average up.
We're not even the Midwest. We're not even like Vikings fans. They're all
I'm
huge.
going to chill touch this man. The one that attacked me. And then I'm going to use my move action to start going up the stairs, but I imagine it's difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just slowly make my way up.
You hit him with the chill touch.
I'm not running up the stairs because Stalbor also wears a dress. So it's just a horrible idea.
You just hike up the dress as you go.
I got my hands are full.
I've seen more than enough rom-coms to see that someone in a dress can do it. So you do 11 points of necrotic damage. That injures the dwarf immensely, but does not drop it. Saves some face. So
He can't heal.
We're actually going to initiative, and it's actually going to be that same dwarf again, who reloads the crossbow and takes another shot at you. But you're walking up the stairs, so now you actually have cover against the shot because the angle changed. Where is it? Attack roll. Can we not roll a 1 this time? That'd be great. Thanks. Okay, bye. There you go. Hey! The opposite end of the spectrum. I went from a natty 1 to a natty 20. I'm not even joking.
No.
That's
not
amazing.
surprising,
That's
but I'm not
amazing.
very happy about it.
I have to clip this. Just so I can rub it in your face and chat later. So anyways, from natty 1 to a natty 20. So the shot does hit. It actually is going to straight on pierce Stalbor in his calf. Like pierce
my baby cow.
In the calf of his left leg as he's trying to run up the stairs.
I was gonna eat that later.
17 points of damage.
I'll take
No! That's half. That is exactly half my HP as a 7th level wizard.
I love when you get excited.
Wow.
You talk like a 3rd grader learning what syllables are. All right, so anyways.
Not wrong.
That's
But at least I'm an inch taller than a French man. So you can't make this a losing day no matter what.
it's your turn, Stalbor.
Any stealth is completely lost, whereas in Dwarven he swears very loudly with like all the only the loudness you can reach when you are just like in pain. And it's in Dwarven because he's been thinking about Dwarven, and he is going to chill touch back.
That is actually. Are you comfortable with that roll, Stalboy?
No. Because you said they wear helmets, which means they have at least some armor of some variety. I imagine I only needed a 1 or something, but grandiose.
Okay, so 13 points of damage. So with this one, you actually throw the blast of necrotic energy back up there, and then he just kind of takes as he's taken hit by as he's hit by the chill touch. You can see the strength dropping from his body. He slumps forward and actually hangs over the railing.
Oh, I want him to topple. What movie is it where someone like topples off the edge and goes like?
His arms dangle over the railing. His arms dangle over the railing, and then his hand kind of opens up, and the crossbow drops from there,
nice.
and it falls all the way below and smashes the ground, breaks below.
I think it will be a wise idea, Eric, to use my next turn to try and knock him off just for coolness.
Do it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna die, let's die like badasses.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
So the first dwarf that comes running down to meet up with you, the first thing he's actually going to do against you, Eric, is he's going to try to bull rush right into you to kind of like throw you off balance. So he's trying to like run straight into you and slam into you into the wall that's like behind you, completely throw you off balance.
Please
so I'm
that.
going to make an athletics check against you, and you have to make an acrobatics or an athletics check back. I know what you're going to do.
Come on.
That makes me happy.
Ugh, no,
Are you kidding me? I rolled a 6. I actually rolled worse.
Yeah, baby.
So
we're both fumbling all over each other. I just fumbled.
This is just like one of those gritty fights where it's just people sort of like falling against each other, like it's Daredevil.
So as he comes running down and tries to slam into you, he actually trips up on that last step, and he is coming at you, but he has less depth than he was kind of hoping for, and less strength than he was hoping for in the throw. Or my apologies, too much strength for his hoping for in the throw. And you're actually able to just barely get out of the way. It's not like you deftly step to the side. It's literally as he's coming at you, you even use his body to help like one hand push yourself to the side a little bit. So he slams into the wall just past you and kind of tumbles himself up from there. The second dwarf that comes down, he comes and you're kind of like step over, also steps you a little bit closer to the edge, like a half step closer to the edge. The second dwarf rushing down actually rushes down into like your range and uses like all of his force to try to like stop and pivot. And then with a lot less strength than he was kind of hoping for, because the way he had to pivot, he then throws himself forward and tries to shield bash you off of the stairwell down below. Once again, acrobatics or athletics. I already know what you're going to do.
Stop trying to bash me, bro. Don't bash me, bro.
I rolled exactly half of what you did. So, as he does that, this time you with significantly more depth, you are able to easily step to the side. So he ends up putting himself into his own precarious position, where literally he comes to the edge and has to do one of those like, this is totally working moments. But the other dwarf that's coming down behind him, he's actually going to come down behind him, grab him by his collar, the collar of his armor, and pull him back so he's secure again, and make his way the last couple of steps. And this one's actually just going to swing at you with an axe.
There you go. Someone who just does a basic fucking attack, so I don't have to dance all around them.
You're a monk. Your whole thing is dancing around them.
Yeah, but I'd rather my dancing be like, the kind where I'm beating the shit out of them. Not the kind where I'm trying not to get tackled.
I don't want to ever go to the club with you.
So he actually is going to attack at you with that first swing, but you saw it coming mostly because he had the way to stop and grab the other guy's armor to secure him. And so he does a low swing with the axe, trying to cut open your midsection, genuinely hoping to make you do one of those like bend in half and jump backwards bits to put you into a precarious spot. You're not that stupid. You actually just like did a step back. So instead of jumping back, you step back and you actually stepped forward, getting closing the distance between the two of you immediately behind the attack. However, you didn't expect the speed of this dwarf to be so great that he actually swings a second time at you. So as the thing comes back, you step in, he then turns the angle of the axe and does a slanted overhead chop. And this one actually does hit you, dealing to a total of 10 points of damage, as you were able to like roll to the side last second, allow it to only put a slight cut into your chest. It is now Reich's turn. The fourth dwarf stands up and starts making his way down.
I'm gonna spend a key point to flurry of blows. So the closest dwarf is gonna get Odachi in the face.
Oh, gorgeous attack roll.
At least I'm rolling well where it counts.
So you are able to make that attack and absolutely hit him. What are you using your bonus action for?
You're doing a flurry of blows, so.
Okay, cool. Actually, you don't even have to say it until the end of your 2 attacks. Make your second attack with your Odachi, sir.
Whoops. The first one's the one that counts. Fuck. Second one's not.
Do you want to modify that in any way, or no thanks?
No, I'm just gonna go straight to the arm striking.
Okay.
Nice. 6 points damage. That
It was
hit?
a nice jump getting that big bonus to your dexterity, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Was 17 hit?
It does, actually.
Another
Okay.
8 points damage.
So you open up the Odachi strike. So it was one of those things where you open up with a slash to the guy. And it cuts through his armor. It literally cuts through like one of the weaker spots of his armor and puts a gash in his side. So he, gets a little defensive with that. But because he defended down, he gets a shield up in time to turtle a little bit. Then the second slash of the sword is deflected by the shield that he has there. You then close the gap while he's still behind the shield a little bit. He doesn't expect you to then come around the side of him and just bash him as a full-on jump up and throw down the fist, bash him in the side of the head, throwing him a little senseless inside of his armor. You then are able to finish up the combat by just taking him, putting your foot out in front of his feet, and with a decent shove, send him reeling, tumbling down the stairs, knocking him unconscious after he rolls down a couple flights of stairs and ends up past even Stalbor, who has to do like a little hop to get over the dwarf.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, barrel hopping is always fun when they're dwarves. So he tumbles down past Stolly. Good to go. That's your turn. It's now that guy's gone. It's Stalbor's turn.
I will shoot at whoever's alive.
Sure, you can easily.
And not Reich.
You can easily make your way. Do you want to try to get to melee or stay as far back as possible and just kind of blast in?
I'll be blasting as I'm running.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get all the way to melee yet because I'm not trying to recklessly run all the way up the stairs.
I kind of wish we had Kyrann here. She's just lightning lure them off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a warlock with the pull.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, that is going to be because of the angles and whatnot where this particular dwarf was. No, we're gonna say you're gonna actually hit them.
Oh. Because we don't have the cover from the.
Exactly. The dwarf was kind of like falling. He gets pulled back, but blasted full in his chest with a shield touch.
I appreciate that.
7 points of necrotic damage. And that's gonna be your turn, Stalbor.
That's me.
Do you continue trying to get closer? Or are you happy with your distance?
I won't get into melee.
Okay. So after that's gonna be their turns. So that fourth one finishes making his way down. So now you're surrounded by 3 dwarves left, Eric. So they're all going to attack at you.
Well, my AC is too higher because I flurry of blows.
Good. That's beautiful. Okay. So as the first one that was already pretty close by, the one that had almost fallen takes a blast to the chest, he immediately turns and starts swinging at you wildly with his axe because now he's kind of getting ferocious. He's scared. He just got blasted from down below by this wizard that's attacking. So he starts attacking you ferociously with the axe. Unfortunately, that led to 2 wild misses. But while he was attacking ferociously, it caught you off guard a little bit that the one that was flanking you now from behind, even if he's a couple of steps below you, the one that slammed into the wall, he's now behind you, angled well enough that he swings at you and actually gets 2 hits off of you. The first one does 7, second one does 8 points of damage, which is a little frightening. The third dwarf that had just stood up and made his way the rest of the way down, he actually opens up his attack by throwing a spear at you, and you dodge to the side and the thing comes zooming past. And the second one, as he finally engages in melee, gets himself in a really solid angle. We could probably give you a good shove off. He's not minded about that right now. He also swings at you with the axe, and this is one of those times where this is, if Stalbor wasn't questioning the strength and focus that Reich had beforehand. Right now, so if he was questioning, this would end any bit of that. Reich's response to it is literally to lean full out backwards to a point where Stalbor's pretty sure he would just fall. Full out backwards into the middle area, and with complete control over his muscles, just pulls himself right back in to where he was. I bet Stalbor even had feather fall right at the ready.
That's right, boy.
Right.
Even though I don't have the spell.
All right,
Oh,
well,
I thought you did.
We have Kyrann for that.
That's right.
I'm going to swing twice at my Odachi. Yes. I'm not going to buff it up. 16 hit.
16 does.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not going to use I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm going to spend a key and use a dodge action.
Okay.
So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. So that's gonna be your turn. Stalbor, it's your turn.
Now I run up and smack him.
Give me the old smackaroony.
Give him the old batter up.
Better up.
I didn't count the fact that they're a dwarf. No, I'm going to use an action point. But I do love that. Never mind. We'll take that. Good.
Jesus, this session, dude.
I'm having a great time, Eric. I don't know if you've noticed.
No fucking idea what's going on.
Okay. So you guys.
You don't love my melee wizard?
So it's now going to be their turns attacking at the combination of you guys. The one that just Reich just attacked, sorry, Stalbor attacked at is going to make 2 attacks against Stalbor, 4 against Reich, all with disadvantage.
Admittedly, I was fully thinking that there was only one of them left, which is why I ran in. I obviously didn't see the second one.
There's 3 left.
Oh, who's in
That's not even what. I hate Theater of the Mind. I'm dead now. Goodbye.
There was 2 hidden.
I could have sworn you said there were 4, and I was like, okay, so there's 1 left, and now I don't know.
There were 4. Eric dropped 1.
Down 1.
I dropped 1.
Oh,
No,
that
you
was the 5th one that was up on the ledge above.
There were 4, but you killed
There
the
were
5th
4
one.
that engaged
Thanks.
in melee. Okay, so allow me to describe this because this round actually plays out pretty well. So Reich, the 2 of them each swing at you twice, right? So the first one comes swinging at you. Reich is able to block the attack with his Odachi. Just angle it so it comes sliding up his blade, and he sends it sailing over his head. It's immediately met by the first swing from the other dwarf attacking at him. You step to the side of that one. The first dwarf that attacks you swings his second time. This time it's an overhead chop. The Odachi is back out, and you smack the thing to the side, a heavy smack thing to the side. The second dwarf makes his second attack against you. As he does so, this is kind of like a thrust forward to send you off your balance, followed by like a weak attack immediately behind that to actually hit you. Unfortunately, that small thrust forward does not send you off your balance, and so the weak attack afterwards, you're able to straight out block. Like full on grab the hilt of the weapon and block the attack entirely. Stalbor, as for the other dwarf that's attacking at you, he the first attack he makes against you is made like with a bit of stun because he didn't expect somebody else to kind of like jump in. So he makes it. It's kind of like a wild attack that Stalbor is easily able to step aside from. Rolled a natty 1. With the second attack against you, this one has a bit more precision to it, and he does a big, heavy overhead chop to this one. This is one of those attacks, though, that you put your staff up and completely are able to block the attack. However, it's one of those things where you actually, the axe of the thing hits the actual staff itself and puts a cut into the staff as it slides, and you now are able to be half to half.
You hurt my boy.
Surprisingly, I did not hurt you. That blew my mind. All right, Reich, it's your turn.
Reich, Stalbor survives via bumbling through things and not getting hit.
16 hit before, so I'm sticking with it.
He didn't have mage armor for like 3 levels.
Okay.
I am. I want to save my key. I only have 3 key left. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend my key on anything. I'm just gonna use.
You got quiet again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use that first attack to deal the extra damage. So I deal 15 for that first attack.
Okay. So you deal 15 with that first attack, as you just said. Let's fix that over there. So 15 with that first attack, as you just said. Okay. And that actually, because of the fight, we'll say that was the one that Stalbor injured beforehand with the necrotic. That's actually enough. Describe how you dropped this one for me, because I know you had something in mind.
So they're kind of like surrounding me a little bit on the staircase, right? They're all just kind of standing around me, and so I'm trying not to kill this guy. So I just turn around and I bash him in the face with the hilt of my Odachi, and then I actually catch him and just throw him on the stairs. So he'll fall down the stairs past Stalbor, but not like fall off the stairs to his death.
Yep. Oh, I just dropped an Oreo into my milk. That's the worst. Don't
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
why I'm not a dipper, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier. Answer: I have Oreos dry. Why would you?
Oh my god, you're a dry guy. Serial killers are dry guys.
That is not a thing here. That Oreos, it's not like advertised or whatever. You just eat them.
My wife.
If you want to do that, you have a chocolate digestive like a regular American British man.
My wife eats cookies of any type and then sips milk behind it. I always dip my cookies of any kind and then eat it as a sobby mess.
Chocolate digestive sounds like something you give old people who need to poop better.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to
This comes up so often. You call them graham crackers, and then you're like, oh, so everything is a no. No, the specific thing of a digestive you call a graham cracker. You have weird generalizations for things. They're like,
like we call, all nose tissue Kleenex.
Yeah, it's that's sort of what you did. McVitie's chocolate digestives are the best.
I don't know if she's watching or just heard me because she's somewhere in the house. My wife just texted me, "Your cookie methods are an abomination, soggy ass."
Oh.
It is
As I said,
to God,
my wife will never be on a stream.
You know what?
She'll just tear me apart.
I heard her laughing when you were telling her that Reich aged in the background. It was very funny.
So anyways, moving on. All right, so we that happens, right? Good, you dropped one. Now there's still 2 dwarves remaining. It's Stalbor's turn.
I did it.
I am going to growl and cast Vampiric Touch. It is a 1d20 plus 8.
Ooh.
I am not going to add an action point to that.
Oh. Okay, roll your damage for me, sir.
Damage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You heal 7, which is wonderful, and you
Which
deal,
is so good.
You deal 14 because you can't. Oh, you can't go a level higher. Obviously, you only have 3rd level spells. So, you have 4th level spells, but you just weren't going to use it for this. So, so you do 14 points of damage to the guy in front of you. That fucks up his day, heals you a little bit, but does not drop him.
Dang it.
And
That would've been lovely.
is the first time you ever cast a spell? Describe it for us.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna make my attacks.
So we're sort of in a stalemate. I push him forward and then just grab his arm. And Riker's one of those people who's occasionally troubled by seeing what Stalbor does in combat. This is very much a literal, like, you can see him draining the life force from the dwarf as he almost like claws this guy's arm until the dwarf can like fight his hand off, and the spell stops. And all the bleeding wound of the crossbow bolt in his leg sort of just repairs, and the blood seems to fade away.
But the crossbow bolt is still in there.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole thing.
So when that happens, which is frightening, by the way, when that happens, the dwarf that you just did that to very weakly turns back to the other dwarf and says, "Go in Dwarven, sound the alarm. I'll hold them." And he's then going to wildly make 2 attacks, one at each of you guys. It says Stalbor takes 2. It's actually one at each of you guys. Yeah. So the first one is actually at Reich, which was a miss, which is wonderful. The second one is going to be at Stalbor, so it was like a wide attack out widewards at Reich, and it missed. The second one, however, is going to be a hit against you, Stalbor. It's actually going to deal to you 4 points of damage, as he lands the attack.
Net gain.
Net gain. As he lands the attack, and it actually, there's so little strength behind the attack after what you just did. It's actually a full-on hit. You actually aren't able to move out of the way in time. If he had more force behind this, he could have cleaved your arm. Instead, it just kind of got somewhat embedded into your shoulder to the point where it's like, ow! But it did not really cut that deeply.
I'll live.
Yeah.
I say to Reich as I pull away, it's like, don't let them run away.
Okay.
Reich, it's now... the other one. Disengage action. Up the stairs. I have to make a athletics check. And he's starting to make his way up the stairs as quickly as he possibly can. Reich, it's now your turn.
It's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to disengage for free using a key point. I'm going to charge after him. I'm faster than him, so come at me, bro. And I'm going to attack him twice with my Odachi.
Unfortunately, it doesn't help much.
I'm going to use a
Action
point. Yeah.
Okay.
My. Oh no, you said she. I got one. Yes. So that I still have one left. So that's gonna hit.
That was some Midori love right there. All right, it does hit. It does a considerable amount of damage. Does not drop the guy.
13. It's 13. So second attack. Yes.
It's a hit.
Yes. 25.
Okay. Coming up behind the guy, you are able to. You move really fast compared to him. So it's pretty quick for you to come up behind him and do a swing, literally precise swing as he's stepping. So literally, as his knee is starting to fold back in for stepping up to the next step, you clip behind the knee and cause him to lose his strength and come tumbling, falling back towards you. But as he's falling back towards you, you then step to the side and then do a full-on smash to the side of his head to knock him out cold as he tumbles back down the stairs somewhat. That's Reich's turn, because he already used his bonus action and his move. Stalbor, the injured one that you just vampiric touched, is still in front of you.
How very interesting. I am going to Toll the Dead. Stalbor Grace Ride, spell name base.
And they've already missing health points. Holy crap.
And it's a wisdom check, so I thought it was Constitution, but wisdom made me feel a little bit better about this idea.
DC is 16. Yep, I fail. And the 16 points of damage. So, boom. He already had some of the strength sapped from him, but now you can just see his skin start to gray and pale as he just kind of falls and collapses. He starts to lose his strength. He's trying to raise his axe to swing forward.
And then I kick him off the ledge.
And nice. Okay.
Right, Stalbor doesn't limit his punches.
No. So you guys are able to make your way the rest of the way up the stairwell and towards the towards the door up above. So once you guys make your way up the stairwell into that door that's there, Reich, you can clearly see that the door that's there has, Stalbor looks and checks. Yep, there is one of those strings. Reich, roll for me your check to open the door.
Before we go, I would like to heal.
Oh, that's a point. I'm going to cast Healing Elixir, and I'm going to hand it to Reich.
That takes a minute.
I have a greater healing potion that I can just...
Oh, then I will take it and use it on myself.
Yes. So I'm gonna drink my greater healing potion.
I wanted to not use healing potions if I could potentially avoid it.
All right. So greater healing's 4d4 plus 6,
4.
something like that.
Plus, there's a system.
Oh,
A.
that was nice. So you guys are both feeling significantly better. And then make that check for me there, please, sir. I hope that healing elixir still works, though.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you rolled the wrong roll, Eric.
Yeah, it's a good thing that's not a sleight of hand.
I know. I just hate everything today.
Well, on the right side,
Everything hates you,
there's
bang.
a roll 20 hates you. Okay. You can actually hear the ringing of the bell on the other side of the door.
Stumble, just like, it's just sort of like a.
I'm not a thief. This is not what I usually do.
Don't ever consider being one.
Well, if I was going to be a thief, I'd practice beforehand. I let you know. When I was training as a monk, I never expected to be breaking into one of the most heavily guarded prisons to break out someone named Genocide. That's not exactly.
You are so wrapped up in this man's name.
That is a pretty pertinent point. They don't name you Genocide because you're a nice fellow.
I was like, that's one of those spraying alliterations.
He's got tusks too. He's gonna.
Ollie. Oh, you kill me sometimes, Ollie. All right. So, anyways, you kind of grab the door and just like give it a hard pull. What the fuck? Just let it open up. It breaks the string, and you can make your way into the doorway, and sit at the desk. There are no dwarves sitting at the desk because you killed them, and there are papers. There's a very similar looking desk down below. Everything looks exactly the same as down below, except you can see the
Not shitty.
You can see that all the paperwork is still sitting there in the cubbies. Like you said, not shitty. Everything is in good condition. Even the door that you just opened up was fully lacquered in great shape.
And in Dwarven, I assume.
The room was already, of course, the room was already completely lit up in both angles. You can hear the occasional cough and whatnot happening around as you can actually hear prisoners inside the cells nearby.
Guard the door. I'm going to go look for numbers.
Okay, I will do just that.
Rifle through for Genocide.
Stalwart, as you were walking through the doorway and you kind of like look, like literally as you're looking at this stuff and whatnot, you remember, just because you're super smart and you're very investigative perceptive, it's just like your eye just immediately goes to places where you've already seen this stuff before. You have a trained eye because it looks identical downstairs. Those magical runes that you had seen over the cubbies beforehand that were just kind of etched in but dull are actively glowing right now.
I am gonna Arcana check it. I'm not gonna use a spell slot on Detect Magic.
So try to do do you want to try to do it like spend a considerable amount of time or like as quick as
Just
possible?
a quick, based on arrangement, color, symbols, what it
Disadvantage,
probably is. Yeah. It's one of those things that can't really waste time. I mean, it's still pretty good.
You believe what it is while these bells are very mundane in their function, you actually think that what this does is this actually sends the signal from one of these bells up to somewhere else.
Ah, okay. Then I keep walking forward.
So it makes more or less a greater alarm elsewhere. But you're going to go and you're going to start searching for this as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically are you looking for?
Genocide's cell, not location.
Yeah. So you're going to roll for me a investigative check. This does take time. This would have been a nice time to have Bellum because you could do this like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want him to guard me while I do it.
Okay. That's actually pretty solid.
You know what?
Okay. There we go.
More solid.
So you do spend. It does, in fact, take a little bit of time for you to search through here. But once you kind of get there and start looking through the paperwork, you come to a quick realization of the organization that they use, the method they use for the organization, and then the first time you go like, okay, I understand it. And you go to a spot, you realize it actually trips you up. Then you realize there's actually a randomization method that they use to stop people from being able to do exactly what you're doing right now. But you very, very quickly crack the code with your 20 intelligence and are able to, okay, so if I'm looking to go here, it's actually going to be to here, 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 here. And you pull it out and you open it up, and it's exactly what you're looking for. You do find the location of the Warforged by the name of Genocide. He does happen to be in the lower portions of the prison. However, he's not in this cell block. He's actually the next one adjacent to this one. And that cell block does happen to be an anti-magic one.
I relay that to Reich, that he's in the anti-magic cell block adjacent to this one. It might honestly be smart for you to head in there alone so that we can all make it out.
As you're saying that to him, you hear down the hallway a door bursts open as you hear boot steps starting to make their way into this hallway.
All right.
I ready myself.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
I feel like Eric's camera's all over the place today. So you kind of like ready yourself just you want to straight on combat these dwarves?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of like peek around the corner to see, you can see that there are 6 dwarves that have just bursted their way into the doorway, and they seem to be setting up something out down at the end of the hallway.
Actually, is that the way we need to go?
Correct.
Then yeah, I'm gonna urge violence forward.
Okay. Well. Hold on. Let me see.
I don't have many spell slots, so I can only really happily cantrip.
All right. Well, I do have a short bow I can start off with just to get a couple shots in. I don't like that they're setting something up.
That's why we need to kill them fast.
Oh, God, I have 2 key left. Yeah, I'm gonna stay back and I'm gonna shoot a couple of shots of my short bow while they're trying to. I'm going to go ahead and fire off.
I shall also fire off. We can be a little firing line. Mine's better.
So you are going to more or less lean out and take a shot with your short bow, and you're going to lean out and try to take a shot with your chill touch down the same area to try to take out those dwarves. You try to shoot the same dwarf or different ones?
Same,
yeah, we should probably focus fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So you lean out, take a shot with the bow. You do a chill touch, and you're probably going to follow up shot with the bow. Do your damage for me, Eric. Both those shots hit.
Noise. Will I get a second shot with my bow?
Yes, you do. Of course, I just said that.
No, sorry, misheard. I didn't hear you. Noise.
Okay. So
A lot of damage to that dude.
that is 9 followed by 15. Ignore that second shot by the bow. So just the first shot for the bow, followed by the necrotic energies of the chill touch, drops that first one, and then you take a second shot with the bow before the two of you guys lean back behind, completely behind the cover. So obviously you can move out, make your attack, move back in. You can hear one of them shouts out to the other one in Dwarven. So one of them kind of shouts out, "Shit, they're already here!" And the other one's like, "Just go and hold them off. We'll set it up. We'll grind them out." And so you hear boot steps making their way down the hallway. At this point in time, I'll have you guys roll initiative again really quickly.
I'll say what after hearing that, just to Reich, not super loudly, just be like, "They're setting something up. I think you should use your sword at the people at the back." I
It's
can
easy
cover
for you
you.
to say. I'm full of holes, and frankly, if I charge into 5 of them, I might not be coming back out.
Don't worry about that. Worry about whatever they're trying to do back there.
Okay, well, if you say so.
Why is this moving so slowly, Roll20? Roll20, you were garbage today.
Yeah.
It's Friday. It's peak time, sort of.
Go ahead, Ollie. Oh, you got
So
yours.
roll
No, it's
into
Eric I'm
initiative.
missing. Yeah, there we go. And as you guys roll the initiative, why don't we take our next break?
Yes! I'm a very
Sounds
sleepy
good.
man.
We'll see you all in just a couple of moments. Bye.